welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ada and I'm a knitter based in Norway, and today, instead of a regular knitting podcast format, we're gonna just talk kinda. And I do have some whips and some FOs and some acquisitions, but we're just gonna see how we do this. So since the last podcast, I have been on holidays in Denmark, which was very lovely, and for that I have cast on these socks in that way maybe the socks in Hillesvåg Fjære, and I haven't woven the ends yet, but basically I started this like toe-up sock, and I was very excited to finish that pair on my holiday. So basically I started this sock just the day before we left, just so that I have like the cast on and a couple increases started, and then the rest I made on the holidays. And then once I finished my sock, first of all, I actually wanted to weave in the ends, but also I wanted to get started on the second sock. And I only had, well, let's see if I find it. Oh, okay, I don't have it with me here. I had a small amount of yarn left. I knew that I won't be able to do a full sock with that leftovers of the 50 grams, and I needed the second one that I knew that I have packed alongside the other things that I have packed for my trip, which was this full bag of additional whips and things I can work on, and then some yarn. I just wanted to have a variety available, and since we were going by car, that was fine. So I went to find this bag at the summer house, and I could not find it anywhere. So first I just thought I just misplaced it somewhere, but it was nowhere to be found. It was not in the car, it was not in the house, and I had a moment of panic because I thought maybe I lost it somewhere on the way. Maybe it fell out of the car at one of the stops or something. But fortunately, I have found it when we got back home. It was not where I thought it was, but that's a whole separate kind of issue. But point was, I had enough yarn to start a new sock, but I wouldn't be able to finish it, and I had no other yarn. And that has led me to a really lovely shop in Denmark, and yeah, I bought some stuff. You have heard me say before that I'm not planning on big purchases, and I wasn't particularly planning on it. And of course, just because I didn't have yarn for like a week or two does not mean that I need to buy a ton of yarn. However, I bought a lot of yarn. It is, however, I'm gonna show you a quite interesting collection, and I think that's gonna be a very nice addition to my stash and kind of adding variety into my knitting, because what I have mainly is wool, which is great, but what I have gotten is a bag of fun stuff. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this shop. It was a really lovely local yarn shop, and it was really cozy and really homey. Yeah, it had the vibes were really lovely, and the lady running it is a really true treasure. But the sad thing is, unfortunately, the store is shutting down. It's called Garnboden, and if that's the correct pronunciation, otherwise I apologize. So I speak Norwegian, but the Danish is still a little bit a mystery to me. So unfortunately it is closing down, and of course I was able to get a little bit of a discount on some stuff, and this is also why I bought more than I was planning on. But I think first of all it was worth it, and I got some things that I would not have gotten here in Norway. Also, I'm very happy to support a local yarn store and not buying things online. I think buying yarn online, of course, is always a great option money-wise, but I have been disappointed a couple of times regarding color choices. So I think unless you know exactly what you want, it's hard to buy something online. But anyway, so let's get into this bag. So first time I went there, I bought a few things, but then when I came back and they offered some sales, I have bought more. Also something for some other members of the family because they wanted specific things. So it was definitely worth going the second time as well. So first up we have this Lana Grossa Elastico, which is, let me see, 96% cotton and 4% polyester. So what polyester does here, it gives elasticity. That's why it's called Elastico. So I like, it looks a little bit softer than just 100% cotton usually is, and it has, I don't know if it has a little bit of a stretch. I don't know if it's visible. It has some elasticity to it. So I'm kind of hoping to have, like, either I'll make something for my kids, or maybe if I can get away with like a really tight tank top for myself. I'm not exactly sure, because I only have 3 balls of this color, because that's the only thing that that they had, and the others were blue, and I didn't really want that color. So that would be interesting, because it says for 3.5 to 4.5 needles. I'm not sure what I would use. I think I would use 3mm or 3.5 indeed, and just aim to use that elasticity to make some kind of negative ease tank top. But yes, anyway, this is something I have not seen before. I rarely go to local yarn shops in my area, just because I have plenty of yarn, and as you can see, me going to a shop kind of ends in a little bit of a spree. So yeah, so for most things that I have here, I don't really have a concrete plan. It's not set in stone. I have vague ideas for this. So this, I'm thinking either a tiny tank top for myself, or a top for one of my daughters. We'll just have to see what happens with that. It kind of depends when I get to it. So the next thing is also cotton. It's Pima cotton from Line du Nord. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And I really liked this color. It's kind of, it looks a little silvery, but it has like a warm undertone, and they only had 2 of these. So I kind of, I decided not to buy it because they didn't have enough for a top or anything. But then I looked at what was there, and I have found these colors, and I kind of, so it's this kind of silvery, I don't know, maybe silvery beige, and then this apricot and cream and navy. And I kind of made this palette, and I think I have a couple more balls of some of the colors. I think I'm gonna try to make a long sleeve blouse or something, or like, let's call it a light sweater, because again, it is cotton. I would think to make it into a like a summer sweater, and yeah, so it has this kind of texture, and I think it will look really nice with some kind of eyelets and stripes, but here I will have to go rogue on this and just really play with the colors, what looks best after which color, and how much yarn I have of everything. So I'm thinking I would make a top down, probably sweater, and then see how long I can make the sleeves. I don't know, but it will require some fiddling around with the stripes and with the colors. I think it will look very nice because it also has this kind of sheen and shine that just makes this cotton look more luxurious than usually cotton is. So I think that will be interesting to work with, but I'm not sure again when I get to do something with that, but that is my plan. Next I got just some basic sock yarn from Mayflower. It's just standard 75% wool and 25 polyamide. Yeah, it's just a self-striping green and blue. Yeah, not much to say about this. It's gonna be socks. Next up is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in soft peach. So it's kind of like a yellowy beige. Yeah, I don't know, kind of depends. And on camera it kind of looks like yellowy beige. Here it looks more orangey, I don't know, whatever. Soft peach. And when I made my Cumulus tee, I used Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, and I did enjoy it eventually, but it's really hard to knit back and forth with this, and I wasn't planning on buying more of it, but the price was pretty good, and on top of it, I have been wearing my Cumulus tee a lot. It's amazing. Okay, like Pure Silk is really, really, really comfortable, breathable. I like it. I do like it. So I got 4 balls to have enough for like another top, and I'll make something. Really, I need to make something. So yes, I'll just have to see, but like with this, I think you just have to suck it up and kind of knit it, get through it, because the finished object is so worth it. And in the same vein, I have gotten Isair linen. Oh, they kind of fall apart, these balls. So it's 100% linen. It gives about 180 meters per 50 grams. But anyway, point is, it is like fingering weight. Lace weight? Fingering weight? Fingering weight. Isair is a Danish yarn brand, but this one is made in Italy, so I don't know how they do stuff exactly, but Isair is very popular in Scandinavia. I haven't really used much of their yarn. I have, like I've mentioned on a previous podcast, I did buy their Japanese cotton, but I didn't get to do anything with it because it was in the bag that was left at home when I went on holiday. Yeah, there I thought I was gonna make a bag or something while I was gone, but I did not. But anyway, so this, I have quite a lot of it, and I think I'll just make a top and see how far it gets me. And then if it's gonna be a long sleeve top or I make 2 tops, I'll just have to see how much it really gives me. So it is really what's the word? So I don't know, it feels kind of crunchy. I don't know, can you hear it? It has a weird texture, and when I talked to someone in the shop about this, they said literally that it's terrible to work with. It's terrible to work with, but it's amazing to wear. So I'm thinking it's a similar vein to the Pure Silk from Knitting for Olive for me, that I'll just have to suck it up and do it, because they had a swatch made with this, and it was just soft, drapey, airy, beautiful fabric. And so I have seen it happen, so I'm just gonna make something, and then with wear and with wash it should get nice and soft. So yes, that is my fingers crossed for that, because I have quite some of this yarn. So I literally bought everything they had in this color. I think there's like 7 balls, 9 balls, I'm not sure. Again, because price was good and I just wanted to have enough in the same lot, and I was kind of okay with, like, if I have too much I will make something else, or maybe make a bag or whatever. However much I'll have left over after I make some kind of top, I will have to see what I have and then decide then. But I just couldn't kind of walk away from it. Okay, next up from Isayer is sock yarn. Isayer sock yarn. It's I've been told it's like one of the best sock yarns out there. So it is 40% easy wash alpaca, 40% easy wash merino wool, and then 20% recycled nylon. And yeah, 50 grams get you 193 meters. This is so soft. This is so soft, and I have not felt sock yarn that's like this soft, and I do hope that it holds up with the nylon. I got it in this green and this brown and this yellow. So as soon as I got home, when I got home to the summer house from that shop, I started on a sock. Again, I started toe up because I didn't know exactly what I want, and I just made this regular sock. So both this sock and this one, they both have short row heels, German short rows, and this one I did with a 2x2 rib, and this with a 1x1 rib and Italian bind off. And so this one I almost finished when we were still on holidays, and then where did it go? I had another one. There you go. And then I made the other one, and actually this pair of socks is made from 50 grams. From one ball of this, I made 2 socks. I bought 2 balls of each because if you want the higher, like, winter socks, it is better to have 2. But then I still have 1 yellow left over. Let's see if I can show you how high these are. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Like, it fits me so well on the foot. And that's how high it goes. So not super high. And so for winter socks, I would like to go a little bit higher. Hello, internet. Here's my foot. But that's basically what I made out of 50 grams. So I have a pair of socks above the ankle. I would say it goes maybe 10 centimeters. So they're not the highest. Oh my God. Why is my leg dead? Oh. But I'm really happy with how much I managed to get out of the 50 grams. And interestingly, I had just like the tiniest tail left when I finished the binding. So of course I didn't really have to play the yarn chicken because I had an extra ball. But I don't know, it was some kind of point of pride for me not to tap into that one. I would if I needed to. But so I have this pair of socks, and of course now I need to finish that one, and then I'll see how they're wearing before making the next pair, I think, because I would like to just play around with like how high and how much ribbing and etc. But I do really enjoy these. Also, they are like, it's been a pleasure to work with because of how soft it is. So it was just, I was just knitting and then just stopping and like, oh, how nice. So I think this is such a nice sock yarn that, you know, you could also use it for mittens, because it's just so soft. And if it's as durable as they claim, you know, I think it's really worth it. But like I'm excited for it because the other hand knit socks I have are mainly not made by me, and they are from thicker yarn, and that kind of limits of how much I can use it. This is the finished object from since the last time we saw each other, and this is I'll call it a half finished object because one is definitely finished and the other one I'll probably get started on soon, so to not lose steam on that. And so since I've done this one first, I kind of used it a little bit as a guide, and I have the next sock, like the Isager socks, I made a tiny bit smaller, just to not have it too loose on the foot. I think these pink socks from Fiare it's a little bit different because it's a bit thicker yarn, and yeah, like there's like it's a little bit looser, but it still I think fits quite well. Okay, and last thing I got there is 4 balls like this. This was, let's call it mystery yarn. I have no idea what's in it. Some kind of wool, some kind of core that is not elastic. I have no idea. And this was, it has little seconds. Is that visible here? So this will be some kind of a little party piece. I am not sure yet what, but it looks really cool. It's like fluffy, and it has this kind of confetti vibe of these seconds. Again, this I'll probably have to see. I have no idea what's the gauge for this. It will require quite some fiddling around, but I think I could make like a little bolero or a vest. I think that could be quite fun. So that concludes the yarn from this yarn shop. I also got some extra needle tips from Knit Pro Lana Grossa collaboration. So that was what was left from that first sock. So I got some Knit Pro fixed needles, 2.5 millimeter, and then some things for my interchangeable set. So this is again Knit Pro Lana Grossa. This is 3.5, and I got a 4 millimeter as well. Just because I have noticed I use these tips a lot, and you know, the interchangeable needles are great. Like, yes, you can switch the tips between your whips, but you know, like, you're not gonna, right? So I just got these because I have noticed that I'm using them a lot. And then I also got a round circular metal ones from Adi, 3 millimeter, 80 centimeters. Because I have some 3 millimeter metal ones, but they are old, and the joins, on the joins, it has a weird angle. I really don't like it. So to complement my, also I got another pair of circular 3 millimeter needles, also from Knit Pro. Yeah, I just think that these are good to have extras, because yes, my interchangeable needle sets don't go down to 3 millimeter, obviously. So I just wanted to have an extra extras that are nice, because I have extras that are just old, worn out, and you know, they're like 30 years old or something, and they're just not as pleasant to work with. But yeah, and the 2.5 millimeter I got because I have sat on the other ones, and I need new ones. It's a shame that this shop is closing. I really had a lovely experience, and then in this whole chaos of buying all of these, all of this yarn, somehow my needles did not get packed in the same bags, and I left them there apparently. And Jette, who's the owner, was very lovely, and she actually dropped them off to our house after she found them. So that was really, really nice, and you know, great, really great service and really great shopping experience. So yes, so I've really enjoyed meeting her and talking to her, and yeah, I wish her all the best in retirement. Before I actually got to the shop, I have found some interesting yarn in a supermarket, and I usually don't look at yarn at supermarket, but since we've been shopping for food and I did not know if we get to go to this yarn shop, I had a look, and I got some interesting, really cheap yarn. It's butterfly. It's called Butterfly, and it's a silk and cotton blend, and it doesn't even say what's the percentage. No, it does. 23% silk, 77% cotton. And it was like 25 kroner, so like 2.5 euros, 2 euros, I don't know. The color is kind of like heather color, I would say. This light purple pink. And you can really see that the quality is not amazing, right? Like the cotton and the silk don't take up the color the same. So they are the silk is a bit more purple, and the cotton in this is a little bit more pink. So if depends how you like it, right? And if that's what you're going for, that's great. But if you want everything to be the same color, that's a completely different story. So I was kind of like, okay, well, that can be a little cute. And I started to make a top out of it. I started on a collar. I didn't get very far. I'm not really sure where it is. But I don't know. It has a funny feel. Like, I think it feels nice. It's a little slippery. It's kind of nicer to work with than just regular cotton because it's kind of more soft and slippery. But it might be like one of like microfiber or something. Like this is not microfiber, but some people don't mind it. But I think for some people microfiber can be like sensory. They can have sensory issues with microfiber. I think if you don't like working with superwash, for example, I think that can be also kind of annoying on a similar level, because I don't know what kind of quality this is. So it kind of feels a little slippery, but it has a nice drape, and let's see what comes out of it. If when I finish that top, it would have cost like, I don't know, something like $10 or whatever, or euros. Why not? So that concludes my shopping. So yeah, like I said, today it was a little bit of this, little bit of that. WIPs, acquisitions, and FOs all in one. So thanks for sticking to the end. Thanks for watching. It would be awesome if you could like, subscribe. There will be more content like this coming in next months. I post about once a month. Sometimes I can manage more often, but it's not so not so easy these days to find a good time with peace and quiet and good lighting. So there we are. Yes, so I have shown you quite some stuff, but a key takeaway from my shopping is that clearly I needed some first of all sock yarn, but also summer yarns. Apart from the sock yarn that is obviously wool, and this mystery ball, it was a lot of interesting summer fibers, and I'm looking forward to using them more. I have used some of the, I've used the pure silk before, but the Pima cotton, that's new to me. Looking forward to this Elastico from Lana Grossa. It's also going to be interesting. And anyway, like I have a lot of wool. I do not need to buy more wool. I have enough to pick, you know, any reasonably gauged sweater I can I can probably make with something I have, right? So I'm glad that I didn't buy much more of that. Just things I really did not have. I did not have much sock yarn, and I did not have much summer yarns. So just kind of interested to branch out a little bit and try some different things. And again, hoping to have a little bit more versatility in my knitted wardrobe, because there's only so many sweaters you can have, and it would be nice to have more stuff handmade for other months, not just dead of winter. So like I said, I've really enjoyed some of my summer knits, and I really hope to have some more. And also it's interesting, the summer knits are having quite a good time now. Obviously it's summer, but I don't remember summer knitting being so popular so much before. Again, this is probably just me. So if you have any comments regarding like summer knits or any of the yarns that I have mentioned here, or maybe let me know what's your favorite summer yarn, and we can have a little discussion in the comments. Because yes, as you can see, I'm open to branching out from wool. Wool has a special place in my heart, but let's have some variety. So with that all said, again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and yeah, come back for more. Bye.